and the doctor said that I'm actually 1 centimeter dilated, 60% effaced. That now makes me wonder if I'm going to go early. I don't know. Hey guys, I'm Marissa. I'm an expecting first-time mom due with our baby boy at the end of May, and today I'm sharing my 37-week pregnancy update. I've been sharing my pregnancy journey here on YouTube with weekly updates, and so I will be following the same format that I've done for all these other videos, which is sharing how big the baby is, the symptoms that I've experienced, baby prep that's happened, and then of course show you that bump shot. But before we get into it, don't forget to subscribe to my channel for more videos. I am excited to still continue sharing my pregnancy journey as well as sharing my journey into motherhood, which is going to be very soon. So definitely scroll down and subscribe so that you can be hanging out for those upcoming videos. So the app that I am using is Pregnancy Plus, and it says that baby is 19.61 inches and 6.8 pounds at 37 weeks. All right, let's talk about these symptoms. I'm definitely feeling like end of pregnancy symptoms. One of those things is just a lot of low pressure. I had a doctor's appointment this week. I now have to go every week. And so this time when I went, she did like a full check, which I'll talk about here soon. And though she was like, oh my, like he's really low. Like, is it hard for you to walk? And I'm like, I waddle a little bit, but it's just more of like the low pressure. Like I just feel a lot of low pressure. That being said, I can't tell though if he's like dropped, and I'll show you my bump shot, but I don't know. I feel like my belly's still a little bit high, but maybe he's just getting bigger and he's just like pressing down so much and he's getting heavier obviously. But yeah, I just definitely feel more pressure. That being said, I also just have to pee a lot more frequently. And a lot of times that I'm like, I feel like I have to pee so bad, and then I go and it's like a couple dribbles. I'm like, what the heck? I had to pee so bad. And so I just think it's just because he's sitting right there on my bladder, really heavy. Another symptom that I've experienced is just sleeping is not the easiest these days. It's just a lot more uncomfortable trying to get like into position of like what's going to feel best. And then just more of the pregnancy insomnia, as well as waking up in the middle of the night to pee. So I just haven't been sleeping very well. Thankfully, I have been at home during quarantine during this whole time. So I actually did take a little nap during my like lunch break at work earlier this week because I was so exhausted. I just needed to take a nap. I know that I've shared this before, but for the majority of my pregnancy, I've actually been sleeping in our guest room because I've had really severe allergies and congestion during pregnancy, and I would just like blow my nose all night long, and I didn't want to disturb Jacob, so I just go in the other room. That being said, I'm trying to get back into our room so that like we can get used to sharing a bed again, as that's what's going to be happening like once baby's here for sure. And also I don't want to like start labor in the middle of the night and be like across the hall from Jacob. Like I'd rather him be right there. So trying to get more into that routine, so I've moved like my pregnancy pillow and things back to our room, so hopefully that'll help me to be able to sleep a little bit better in our room. Another thing that I'm experiencing more frequently are just minor contractions. I don't know, Braxton Hicks or whatever you want to call them, but it's just like really low, feels like just dull period pain. I'll experience like a couple of those each day but nothing that I can time or anything like that, but definitely feeling more of those types of contractions happening. I also can just really feel that baby is getting squished in there, and it's like I can feel now like his butt and just like know where his like placement is, which is crazy, and he can just put a lot more pressure on my sides rather than like feeling the kicks that I did in the beginning. Now it's just more like pressure as he's really far up against me and like trying to stretch out, I guess. But my favorite is in the evenings after, like sometimes if I'll have ice cream, he will go crazy if I have ice cream, and he like jumps all around, and you can see my belly just like going back and forth. And I'll try and record it, but it always seems that like when you get off the camera to record it, then he like stops. So I'll try and see what I can do for you guys. But yeah, he definitely is like moving around a lot, which is really fun. And also though, gets pretty painful. Like when he's like this big, for him to like stretch out on this side and then move over here, is just like gets to be a little painful. And I can also tell that he really favors my right side. Like I feel him right now, like his butt's over here, and he hangs out a lot more on this side. So that's been interesting as well. The other thing that I've experienced are swollen feet and hands. Very minor, and it like comes and goes depending on how much I'm standing or walking, and the kinds of socks or pants that I'm wearing. So if I'm wearing too tight of socks, then my feet get pretty swollen. So I'm trying to reduce that, trying to put my feet up when I can. I also am not wearing my wedding ring right now because my hands will get like a little bit swollen. They're a little bit more swollen than they were before, but I wore it yesterday. So it's not very swollen, but just a little bit more noticeable to me. Jacob has rubbed my feet a couple times, which is nice. So my feet have definitely been more swollen than my hands. I know that I shared this in, I think it was like the last video or so, and I had people saying like, be careful of preeclampsia. I haven't had any issues with my blood pressure at all during pregnancy, and even like at my appointment today, it all looked good. So I just think that this is what could be just typical swelling that I may experience during pregnancy, and honestly it's not that bad. And I'm also grateful like my face hasn't like been swollen or anything like that either. It's just like my hands a little bit and my feet. Other things, I've had such bad heartburn this week. I woke up in the middle of the night one week with intense heartburn. Like that's what woke me up. So I had to like wake up, take like a Tums, and then had to like sit up for a little bit in bed because it was so painful. So heartburn is definitely coming back. Also, just to touch on my belly, I still have not had any stretch marks during pregnancy, which I'm honestly really surprised, but I know that for a lot of people it can happen in the last couple weeks of pregnancy. So I'm still like not thinking that I'm going to get through all of this without any stretch marks. I'm still preparing that I definitely could, because I got them when I was going through puberty, and so I'm really shocked that I haven't gotten any now. I have been using that Palmer's cocoa butter lotion twice a day, which has been good, but I don't know if that's been what is helping, but I haven't experienced any stretch marks yet, which I'm definitely thankful for. So my doctor's visit that I had this week, we did a cervical check, and this was my first pelvic exam for my entire pregnancy, because I know that a lot of people, when they do like an early ultrasound, like we did one at 8 weeks, that a lot of times that has to be like an internal ultrasound. Mine was not. And so this is the first time that I've had to do a pelvic exam, and it was not fun. That was very painful. I was expecting it to be painful. And they also did the strep B test as well, which was weird. But the more painful part was definitely the cervical check. Oh my gosh, it was very intense. But that being said, I survived. It was just very uncomfortable. And the doctor said that I'm actually 1 centimeter dilated, 60% effaced, and baby is low and head down. So she was like really pleased with that. She's like, oh my gosh, that's so great for 36 weeks. Oh my gosh, that's great. So she seemed really excited about it. I don't know really what all of that means, but that now makes me wonder if I'm going to go early. I don't know. I know that people can be dilated for a really long time though, so it's just all like a waiting game. But she said that with him being really low and putting the pressure right there, like that'll help to like open up your cervix more, I think. So she didn't say that it seemed like I would go early, but I don't know. We'll just have to see. And obviously now I have an appointment every week, but I won't have another cervical check for a few more weeks, I think. So yeah, that was definitely not enjoyable, but crazy to know that like things are progressing and moving along. After that doctor's appointment, I kind of feel like the nesting is in full swing, like really getting ready for everything. And I'm just trying to like get as much done around the house as I can, but also realizing that I just can't do as much as what I could before. Like I will work on something for a half an hour and need to take an hour break, and it will just be exhausted. Even doing like the dishes or something, like standing up doing the dishes. So that's definitely been exhausting and kind of frustrating, because I'm like trying to get all these things ready and realizing that I just like can't do it to the extent of what I could before. That being said, our hospital bags are packed. We have them sitting all together in one area ready to go. I also wrote up on a piece of paper of the additional things that we'll need to grab and go before we head to the hospital. So I think that we have everything ready for that, which is crazy that like hospital bags are ready. And also I registered at the hospital this week. It was just like a virtual like online registration that I filled out. So I think that like I have all my things crossed off the list, I hope, for like hospital stay and everything. As of right now, still it's going to be that Jacob will be the only one allowed with me for labor and delivery and afterward. So still no visitors or like no additional support people. I think the hard thing right now is just trying to figure out like where that stands with when family can meet our baby. Obviously that's been the hardest part for me with all of this, of having a baby during a pandemic. It's just I want to be able to like celebrate with family. I know that a lot of people will say, well, it's great that you don't get to have visitors because it's annoying and blah blah blah, but I mean, if you don't even get the option, then it's just kind of a bummer. Like, I just would have liked to have my mom there, you know? So yeah, that's been kind of hard, and we're still trying to navigate that of what that's going to look like. We also may not have him for another 3 weeks, hopefully. So things may change. I don't know. It's like things change so quickly that who knows what the next month is going to look like. But I really hope that our family will get to meet him soon and like be safe, and obviously keep him healthy, keep them healthy. Just something that you never think that you're going to have to like think about these sort of things as a first-time parent, but this has been my concern for the last like 2 months. So we're definitely just navigating that still, and the regulations are still pretty much the same at the hospital. I'll be checked for the virus once I arrive, and I'm just praying that I stay healthy, that I don't get it. I've been very much isolated. I haven't been able to like give my family a hug since the first week of March, and I don't know, it's hard, it's really sad. They live so close to us and we're not able to like be with them, and that just makes me really sad during this season. But obviously the most important thing right now is just that I stay healthy to keep baby healthy, and so that also that I can still see him once he's born, because we're like coming to the end of the process here. Other things that I'm doing to prepare for baby, like I said, just a lot of cleaning around the house. I was just telling my husband Jacob today that like every night when we go to bed, I want to have this place clean. Like I want to have everything picked up, because it would be awful to go to the hospital and then, okay, it wouldn't be awful. It would just be a bummer to like go to the hospital in the middle of the night and then come home and have the house be a mess. And obviously no one can like come over and pick up for us or whatever because of the situation of everything that's going on in the world. And so that's just something that I need to be additionally planning for, and I just want to like come home to a clean house. So I just want to make sure that we're able to keep things clean throughout all this time. I've also been sterilizing bottles and pacifiers and things to get ready for baby. And I'm also finishing up things with my job. So I do have a day job. I work as an accounting manager, and I work 30 hours a week there. And then I also have my business here online. So for my job as the accounting manager, I am planning to work like up till my due date. My due date's the 23rd. I work Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. So I plan to end on Wednesday the 20th, have that be my last day. So I definitely want to be able to spend as much time on maternity leave with my son as possible. And also this is the one fortunate thing with this whole situation, is that I've been able to work from home during all of this time, and so I've been able to like, I feel like sustain this for a bit longer. Like I'm sure this would be a lot more exhausting if I had to like wake up, go into the office every day. So the fact that I get to work from home during this last stretch of pregnancy, I feel like I'm able to do it for longer and like work right up till my due date because of that. And so I'm trying to wrap up things at work, like get everything like all my ducks in a row. And it also just kind of feels like a little bit of senioritis of like, oh, I only have a few more weeks. Like that's crazy. What am I, what can I get done? And also just realizing like I'm going to be on a break here for a while, which is just crazy. So I'm planning to take a full 12 weeks of time off, which is the standard in the United States for family medical leave, and all of that is unpaid for me, but I do get to cash out my sick time and vacation time. So that'll be about 6 weeks that I will be paid, and then 6 weeks will be unpaid during my maternity leave. So I plan to come back to work in like mid-August then. And the last little prep that we are doing this weekend is meal planning. I found all these recipes to make Instant Pot like freezer meals, so I'm planning to prep all of that this weekend, which I know is going to be utterly exhausting, but I think I'm going to do 21 meals. I have a grocery pickup tomorrow to go and get all of the ingredients that we need for them, and then I'll just like spend Saturday putting together all of these meals, taking breaks in between, and having things ready to go in our freezer. Again, with the times and the way that things are right now, I just want to make sure that we have food available in the house that we can cook really easily, especially with having a baby here. So doing these Instant Pot freezer meals will be, I'm sure, a lifesaver. I'm just trying to prepare all of the things that we can And so I am excited to like have some meals in our freezer. We do have a deep freezer, so that'll be really nice to be able to store them. So here's a look at the bump here at 37 weeks. I can't tell if he's like a little bit lower, maybe just a little bit, but let me know what you guys think if you think that he's lower. So that is all I have for this update. Thanks for hanging out. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you're new, and also give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. And I would look forward to seeing you guys in that next video. Bye.